Now, before we go any farther, you can see these two beautiful ladies sitting next to me, and let me introduce them. Now, this is Pollyann Castle and her lovely daughter, Lynn Kitchen.
Oh,
And so I get two beauties for the price of one. I'm just so
oh.
What a bargain.
now, I was so excited, and I want to let everyone know. Now, Polly Ann, you're the founder of the 90 O's, and we see your poster right in back
Yes.
of you. And
Yes.
this is, you have a blog, and you started this, and this is what attracted me to reaching out and asking for you to please be a guest. And I'm so grateful that
Mhm.
you decided to do that. Um, and also, this show is produced by Lynn, her daughter, and you produce the world's greatest motivators.com. And that's a national cable television show, correct? A
That's
series.
right.
And,
Yes, that's right.
and everybody can find all of Lynn's shows on her channel. You can subscribe, and you can also get involved with Pollyan's blog. So you ladies have so much going on.
Well, Marguerite, it is such a pleasure to be here. And as you're speaking to the audience, the 90Os, that website is separate. It's
Yes.
90os.com. So
Yeah.
everyone can check
Yes,
out.
90os.com. These are two separate things, and I'm going to make sure. That's why I do edit my shows, because I have all those addresses right in front of us so people can take their time to write them down. Because I know if they go on Pollyann onto your site, they can subscribe to your news flyer that you have. And I've already subscribed to that. So I want to encourage everybody to do that because okay, so we're gonna, Pollyann, I have to just, as a fellow senior, I'm not 90 yet, but I'm expiring, want to be there. Tell us, what is it like to be your age? What are you doing? And how do you stay so beautiful and joyful?
Um, First, heredity is why I'm here.
That's nice.
My grandmother lived to be 100, and my aunt lived to be 103. So on the
Wow.
female side, we don't give up.
Yeah.
My
Well,
mother's
that's
nearly 99, we
Yeah,
say.
I'm 99. And
well, yeah.
you're asking for advice, and that's exactly what I love to do. We're doing a study for, and I'm organizing something that's called 90Os, and it's how to help people in their 90s understand what's happened to them, because 90, it's a different world out there.
Yeah.
We can't do this, we can't do that. As I can't see, uh, other people have other ailments. I'm very lucky to have Lynn here for me, but to be very active physically.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I think what you just said is what I'd like to ask you next. Now, I know that you said hereditary, which I 100% agree with, but I also want to know, I love to encourage people and know what their secret is. Do you have any things that you do during your day, your natural routine that is good for your health that you can share with our audience viewers?
I thought about that. I was a professional ballroom dancer, won national champion
Wow.
for 20 years. I,
Whoa, that's
I
amazing.
danced 4 hours a day, 6 days a week.
But you know what? She didn't even start till she was 62.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really inspiring.
I quit in my middle 80s. and I was still winning. People would come for hundreds of miles to watch me dance.
Wow.
An older person, but and that has held me up. So for now, I still have a strong core. And the doctors are so surprised how strong my legs are. I can hold them out forever, you know. And, I, to tell you the truth, now I can just sit.
Wow. Well, you do look wonderful, and I already know why you're so healthy too, because you're not just sitting, you're sitting active sitting.
That's
You're
right.
always doing something. Now, I know that you've written books. I was looking on your website, which by the way is where people can go to get your books. But tell me about the books, what the titles of them, and what inspired you to write them.
Well, could Lynn help me with that
Of
answer?
course.
No,
Of
these
course.
actually we have the two books here. The first one was Grin and Giggle, and it was written in the age of 93. She first time author at the age of 93, and really is sweet stories that she shared from her past. She's a product of the what am I trying to say? Depression. Depression, sorry. And so there's some sweet stories about the past here. And then as she grew into adulthood, how she was treated as a woman and so forth. They're fascinating. And the one story I love the most is my grandmother coming out of the closet she never got dressed out in public. It was like always in the closet. And then she presented herself.
Wow.
And those kinds of stories really stick with you. So these are called Stories Shared, Grin and Giggle, a retrospective of the idea is to get on the bus and go back in time to visit times in her life that she wanted to say a little story about.
Oh, I
And
love that. I'm going to have to get these books, by the way. And the other one, show us the other one.
The other
It's
one
very
is
different.
a double book. It's called Mirth and Mayhem, and you turn it over, and it's rambling and rumbling.
Oh.
The same bus on it. And here, Mother
Oh.
published this at 2 years ago at the age of 97. And it is it's a collection of stories. This one is a romantic story.
Oh.
You want to talk about the romantic story for
yeah,
a second?
I was thinking about
Oh,
that.
yes. Tell us. We love romance.
It's a Greek myth written in the 21st century style. Now, and so all of the happenings could be in today's world, but the characters and the behavior are from Greek myths.
Like, and they're actually planets. The gods are planets. So she has this constellation of planets that fall in love with each other.
Yeah, Mars falls in love with Earth.
Wow.
Earth isn't interested.
Yeah.
What a unique concept. Can I ask what was the incident that happened that created this burst of story in you, this type of story, because it's so unique?
Yeah, I love to tell stories. You know, I'm a writer and I'm imaginary. It was easy. Probably I had a love affair or something and I wanted to express it. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, I can't wait to get the book.
But the part
Yeah. The second part.
in the middle is really important. And I get comments. I got one yesterday of people who enjoy it. And ask yourself a question you've never asked before. I write a little paragraph about my interpretation of that, and then other suggestions of what you can think about in answering that question. And
yeah, it's very inspiring because in the book she asks a new question, and when you've lived to be in your mid 90s, you would think that you've asked yourself every question that there ever is to be asked. So she has this morning practice when she gets up in the morning. What's a new question that I can ask myself that I've never asked before? And then she waits for the answer. And she and I do this as a little game, but she actually wrote about it. And it's so inspiring.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's
that for every decade of my life, I always said, what's next? What's next?
Yeah.
Well, what next got worn out.
Yeah. I can appreciate that because I'm 73 now and I kind of measure my life by each 10 years. And it's getting even shorter because now I'm switching it to each 5 years. But but I do notice it's like I keep telling, I have a lot of younger friends. So I keep telling them and try to prepare them a little bit. Look, if this is happening, it means you're changing and you have to respect yourself. And I know that you speak about coping, Pollyann.
I
So
do. As you were speaking, I was thinking of the very word you need to tell them.
explain
But
that,
cope.
please.
But on that, you listen to the softer joy. The next one is no whining. And no whining. And I think you can tell your people,
Yes,
no
yes.
whining, because that's not scolding. It just makes you think, do I really need to
Yeah.
think that?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And it's nice. I'm fortunate that a lot of them will take my advice. But what you said is so true because there are too many people that whine, the younger ones too. You
Yes.
know, and it's just a waste of good energy. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
but I love everything you say because I heard you have two series and you have 3 words for each series. Now the coping one I think was in the second one. What are your 3 words for the first one again? Let me see. I wrote that down too. Huh?
Softer joy. The
Softer
softer
joy.
joy is fascinating, and I do want you to speak about that, Mom. But the second one was no whining,
We
as
did
Mother
that.
said.
And
The third one was
patience.
patience.
yeah.
Patience.
And then in the second series, those 3 are
Dignity.
dignity, coping, and courage.
Yes.
But we still
Yes.
have hoping this week to film, and then courage, it closes it down. Then I think we'll do a close up encompassing the 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lynn, give us the address and I'll have it down here where people can watch these.
Oh, how sweet.
Well, we do a live at 5, which is on Facebook Live, which would be facebook.com/Lynn Kitchen.
Okay. I'm going to put that down because I've been watching them because then they can watch them after. If you miss the live, then it's automatically repeated so people can still watch them because these are jewels and these are things that people should hear. And it's so inspiring coming from you, Pollyann, really. It really is. It's so nice that you're taking your time to do this because it really helps people. And it's very inspiring and encouraging because they're just entirely too many people. What I don't like to hear from people is this really irritates me when they say, I'm too old to do that.
Yes.
My hand goes up immediately and I say, you're talking to the wrong person. Move on, because that's just not true. Right? We can do whatever we want when we want to.
That's right, Marguerite. I mean, just think, as ballroom champion, didn't even start till age 62. Then she became a national Rosarian judge, and she traveled all over the world judging roses. Then she asked, what's next? What's next? What's next? Then she became a first-time author at the age of 93. Who does that? Well, I really think it's somebody who has a good imagination of, well, I can't do this. I can't. Yeah, we have can'ts, but what can I do? That was her first question that we started working on.
Yes. What can I do?
And I did want to ask you to talk about softer joy. Just think about softer joy. What does that mean to you?
Yeah.
I explained it earlier today and it's fresh in my mind. I have my condo faces the bay, and I have a terrace with stairs that go down to the swimming pool and then on out to the bay with a beautiful yard and so forth. Well, when I first came here, I could walk out there and go see the water. But now I sit over here to my dining room table in my particularly familiar chair for hours. And I can look out the window and it is a softer joy. It's not Oh, let's go out. The joy of doing. I get the joy of thinking about
And being.
and memory and being there. And I'm so satisfied because I don't have to do it. I can just imagine. And then, as you say, my imagination starts to go. Maybe then I can think of something I hadn't thought of before.
Oh,
And
that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. I like the way you put that, softer joy, because I've been experiencing, as I said, I get older and I've been experiencing that myself, that I'm so different than the decade before because I take pleasure in smaller things that a lot of younger people might think, like what's with her, but there's just so much, even in sitting out in the yard, for instance. I'm blessed to have a beautiful yard and I love to be out in nature. And there's so much in here when you're a thinker and you're used to doing things. It's like you can never be alone and you can never be bored because there's always that activity, like you said, the softer joy, and it's a more quiet reflection, but it's so beneficial. It's so peaceful. It's just so peaceful.
I love that, a quieter reflection. And that's the very basis of where I come from because I discovered silence.
Hmm.
It's silence. When you sit there, you have to clear your mind and then you sit back and relax and don't think and just try to empty your thoughts.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
and then you
Yes.
sit there and it's blank. And
Yeah.
then pretty soon a little something will creep in and then something else. And before you know it, you have a wonderful new thought that has never appeared to you before.
Yeah. Exactly. And what you said is true. We have to be silent. And that's where I always say, when we pray, we're talking and asking for something. But when we can get silent is when the answers come from our higher self,
Oh, wonderful.
you
Yes.
know?
I'll
Uh,
have to remember that.
yeah. And it's just, there's so many blessings, and God bless you for living so long and so vibrant. And I know you're going to have many more years. And I must say, your skin is fantastic.
Well, she knows how to put on makeup.
Yeah, I do too. I love it.
Beautiful.
It is
Oh,
beautiful, and we're so delighted to be with you, Marguerite. And I want to
Oh.
congratulate you for all the good work that you do in this world. I
Oh,
mean, your
thank
program
you.
is so fun,
Yeah,
and
I
we're
just,
we're
yeah,
delighted to be here.
Oh, that you found.
laughter is so crucial.
It
And
is.
before we go, now, I do want to ask Polly Ann, if you had to pick one piece of advice to give to younger people about how they could better enjoy their lives when they're young to be wiser, what would you say to them?
I have to say.
Well, they're going to hear it now. Let's put those millennials in their place.
I think young people are spoiled because they want to be entertained. They have to go, they have to be doing, sitting and reflecting or studying or reading, not watching television, but
Yeah, they spend too much time on their phones. They're going to have deformed thumbs.
get acquainted with yourself.
Uh,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is it. There it is. Get acquainted with yourself. That is very good. And
yes.
so
I-
your shows are amazing too.
Thank you so much, Les Brown, Bob Proctor, Jack Canfield, John Azaraf. We got all the best of the best.
Yes, you do.
On
You
one show, World's Greatest Motivators. It's a lot of fun. And actually, my mother has been my biggest mentor.
I
Um,
can believe that.
and now what are we doing is standing on the shoulders of these wonderful mentors, to create a new space where we can inspire like you're doing, Marguerite. So I'm so appreciative of
Thank
of
you. And what do they do to subscribe to your station? How do they do that? We'll put that up here too.
simply go to worldsgreatestmotivators.com and you can see the shows there this week.
Okay.
And as well as sign up for future shows, as well as sign up for our website. We have a membership program where we actually, my partner and I, guide you through a journey to study all of the greats and what they have to say, so
Wow.
you can apply it to your own life. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. You've given so much for me to put out there and for everyone to share, and I love it. So, ladies, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm going to say goodbye to our audience. And again, much love. Thank you. And
Thank you.
everybody, support your immune system. Keep active. It's only one per person. Okay, have a lovely day, and thank you again. Bye. Bye, everybody.